Chag Purim, the holiday of Purim, extraordinary, so special. Everybody in Israel, Klal Israel, religious, not religious, doesn't make a difference. Celebrate this holiday, fulfill the mitzvot, present for poor, charity, sending gifts to one another, customs, meals, etc. And for sure, Ad Lo Yada, drinking in happiness. What's so special in Purim that's connect and unite Klal Israel together? What the connection between Mordechai Yehudi, Moshe Rabbeinu, and maybe, right, Yaakov Avinu? What the name Megillat Esther is hinting? It's look like two contradictions. Megillat, to reveal, Esther, to hide. What is one of the meanings behind the words of our holy rabbis when the month of Adar starts? We increase happiness and rejoice. And on the contrary, when the month of Av starting, we diminishing the happiness. Before we're going to try to answer all those questions, we're going to bring the words of the holy Ramban in Parashat Bo. And from the clear, revealed, great, famous miracles, a person come to admit the hidden miracles. And the hidden miracles are the foundation of the whole Torah, all of it, entirely. That a person doesn't have a share to the holy Torah that we accept from Moshe Rabbeinu until we're going to believe in all his words, all our actions and things that's happened to us. All of them are miracles. There's nothing like nature, accident, the way the world's working. Not the words of the Holy Ramban. And we learn in the Gemara, on the Pasuk, Lamnatseach halayil et hashachar, to the one who's controlling the dawn. And the Gemara says, why Esther is compared to the dawn, early morning, to say to you that what a dawn is the end of the night, also Esther is the end of all the miracles. And Yaarot Midvash was wondering, wait a second, what you're trying to say to me is not really fitting to what you want to teach me. Because in the parable, the dawn is the end of the night and beginning of the light. But what we said about Esther, she's the end of all the miracles. It looks like opposite from what you just said. That the light of the miracle stopped and our eyes become darkened because of the concealment. And he explained that Hashem blesses Thee, we know, He created the world to go and act according to the nature. And anyway, we need to recognize and know the entire universe, the whole world, that Hashem blesses Thee, running the nature according to Hashem will. And that's why Hashem doesn't want to change the nature, but only to a great occasions or a deal or necessity. And this is the explanation in what we said, what done the end of all night, also Esther, the end of all the miracles, to teach us that the way the world running in miracles above the nature, as in the Exodus from Egypt, it's counted as darkness. Why? Because the nature is because we cannot see what's going on around us, who's running the world. We cannot see that Hashem controlling the nature, etc. Or we just choose to ignore it because self-reasons. But the miracle of Purim that was only happened in act of natures. He drank too much, he killed his wife, he find another wife, everything, etc. This is counted as dawn, beginning of light. And this is the purpose of creation, to see the light of Hashem Blessed in the nature. And our holy rabbi said that this is one of the reasons that the name of Hashem, God, is not mentioned in the whole Megillat Esther, only in combining first letters or end letters. It's not come revealed. And it was hinted in the name of the Megillah, Megillat Esther. Because the purpose of the Megillat Esther is to reveal the holy light within the concealment of the nature. And something very sweet, Shvilei Pinchas teach, this shiur is based on many of his words, on the davening of Yaakov, Hatzileni na miyad achi Esav, save me, please, from the hand of my brother Esav. And the Baal Turim explained that Yaakov davened to be saved also from the decree of Haman HaRasha years later. That if you're going to see the first letters of the words Hatzileni, Hey, Na, Nun, Miyad, Mem, create the word Haman. And we know the word of the Chida in Midbar Kadmut, that Mordechai is the reincarnation of Yaakov Avinu, and Haman is reincarnation of Esav HaRasha. And it's very simple that in the time that Yaakov davened to be saved himself from Esav, he also davened that his offspring, years later, going to be saved from Haman, the reincarnation of Esav, by Mordechai, his own reincarnation. And truthfully, it did happen. He came, as we said in Mordechai, to fulfill the words of the Gemara. The one who read the words of the letter should fulfill them. And that's why we can say that the angel, the minister of the nation of Esav, said to Yaakov, Shalcheni, let me go. Why? Ki ala shachar, dawn is here. It's a hint that the davening that Yaakov davened was accepted, and the decree of Haman and Achashverosh would be cancelled. Since by the miracle of Purim, the dawn started, the light came, the sun shined. And this is the end of all nights. What does mean, end of all nights? Living in lack of ability of seeing the regular life miracles. That life itself is a miracle. The movement of the world, the action of the nature, sort of a concealment, physical concealment. But no, everything is a miracle. And if you're already speaking about reincarnations, let's remind that also Mordechai was a spark from the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu. As the Chida wrote, Ish Yehudi is numerical value that's equal Moshe with the total. And it's explained with the word of the Midrash. Ish Yehudi, there was a Jew, a Jewish man in Shushan Abira. Ish, a man, to teach us that Mordechai was equal in his generation as Moshe in his generation. As it says, and Moshe the man was very, very humble. And Yarot Midvash adds a very, very wonder thought and idea. And he said that the Mekubalim said that Mordechai is reincarnation and spark of Moshe Rabbeinu, and Haman, he was the Egyptian man that was killed by Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's why Haman wanted to revenge his death years ago by Moshe at Mordechai. And Esther was a spark of Bitya, the daughter of Paro. And that's why Mordechai took her for him as a daughter, wife, right? And from that you're going to understand the saving of Klal Yisrael in the miracle of Purim by the joint davening of Moshe Rabbeinu in heaven and Mordechai on earth. As the Midrash teaches us that Eliyahu, the prophet, blessed is he, was running in that time of decree, and he went to the forefathers. At the end he came to Moshe, davening on the totality of Klal Yisrael to be saved. And at the end Moshe Rabbeinu said to Eliyahu, let no Mordechai, that's our davening, going to be accepted. And we know the words of our holy rabbis on the pasuk, קיימו וקיבלו היהודים עליהם ועל זרעם ועל כל הנלווים עליהם ולא יעבור. They fulfilled and accepted, the Jews, upon themselves and their offspring and all the joining souls later on in life, and it will never going to be cancelled. That's meaning Purim we accepted the Torah again from the love of the miracle, as it says, Masechet Shabbat. And Klal Israel was under the mountain. And Rabbi Abdimi Bar Chama Bar Chasa said that we learned that Hashem sort of turned over the mountain above Klal Israel as a tab, and he told them, if you accept the Holy Torah, gewaldig, beautiful, excellent. But if not, there going to be your burial. There could be the days of Aman if you're not going to accept the Torah Sheba'al Peh in happiness. And Rava continued the Midrash there, and he said, even though they accepted as Klal Israel the Holy Torah again in the days of Achashverosh and Haman. And our holy rabbi said that the meaning of that we accepted the Holy Torah was that we accepted the oral Torah. And we should say that the totality of Klal Israel accepted only the written Torah as we know in Har Sinai, but not the oral Torah. Because the oral Torah is what it is the clarification of the laws of the written Torah by the rabbis and wives of each generation and generation. And Klal Israel said, I don't want it. Why? We didn't heard it directly from Moshe Rabbeinu. But when Klal Israel saw the miracle that Hashem, blesses He, did to Klal Israel on the month of Adar, by Mordechai Yehudi, they understand the secret, what is hidden, the hint behind the words of our holy rabbis on Aman. And they said, and Aman didn't know that on the 7th of the month of Adar, Moshe Rabbeinu died. And on the 7th of month of Adar, he was born. That's mean, yes, it's right. Moshe Rabbeinu was deceased and died in that day. But he was born again when he come as a spark within our holy rabbis on each generation as the revealing of the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah. And right now, in that generation, he was revealed himself, Moshe Rabbeinu, in Mordechai, as we said before, Ish Yehudi, numerical value 346, equal to Moshe with the total 346. If we're going to join this number 346, we're going to come to 13. 3 plus 4 plus 6, do the math. 13 numerical value of two words. Echad, and also Ahava, love. Maybe to hint that the Torah Shebechtav, the written Torah, and the oral Torah are one. And the source is one. Hashem blesses He. And that's why when Klal Israel realized that the light of Moshe Rabbeinu is revealed in the rabbis of all the generation later on, they accept the oral Torah with love. And for sure, Echad is hinting on the obligation of Klal Israel to be united together in holiness and purity. Another reason that Hashem blesses He caused the lottery, so to say, that Haman did footfall on the month of Adar is that the zodiac of this month, Adar, is Dagim, Pisces. And we found that Klal Israel are compared to fish. And the first one who did it, Yaakov Avinu, when he gave the bracha to his grandchildren, Ephraim and Menashe, Vayidgu larov bekerev haaretz, let them grow into multitude in the midst of earth. And in the Midrash we learn what the fish that grow in water, since right now there start to be rain, one drop from above, they accept it with thirst and excitement, like they never tasted the taste of water before. So Klal Israel, each one of us, we are growing in the water of the Holy Torah. And since we're hearing a new thing from the Torah, we accept it with thirst and excitement like we never heard any Torah in our life. And for sure again, davar chadash, a new thing. It's come to hint the new laws that's explained by our rabbis, that's mean the oral Torah that we accepted in Chag Purim with love and happiness. Another reason that we, Klal Yisrael, are compared to fish, it's learning Masechet Avodah Zarah. What fish in the ocean? Since they're going to go to the land, they're going to die. Also, human, the Jews, since we're going to separate Chas v'Chalila ourselves from words of Torah and from mitzvot, commandments, we die. That's why when Hashem caused that the decree of a man going to fall on Purim, month of Adar, which is Pisces, fish, Klal Yisrael understood. We got no existence or livelihood in this world without the Holy Torah, and we are obligated. Then that means they obligated to accept the written Torah and the oral Torah with love and thirst, as happens in the miracle of Purim. And in conclusion and understanding that the Torah is our life and length of days, and within it we're going to learn and indulge day and night. That's why when the month of Adar starts, we increase the happiness, and on the contrary, when month of Av starts, we decrease the happiness, because the Torah is our livelihood, and the Torah is the only reason for true happiness. That's why our holy rabbi teaches that the main reason of the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash was that we didn't indulge and learn Torah with happiness and correctly. Since we know that Hashem answered for the question, why the land is destroyed? Why there is no Beit HaMikdash? What's going on here? That's mean why the Holy Torah didn't protect Klal Yisrael from sinning and get punished. And the answer was that they left my Torah that I gave in front of them. They didn't listen to my voice and they didn't follow it. And that's mean, as Rashi explained to us, if you're going to follow my laws, that's mean you're going to be toiling in the Holy Torah. As we're saying every day in the morning in the Birkot HaTorah, to toil in words of Torah, not to learn words of Torah like some kind of secular and outer learning, to toil, to be engaged in it. A lot of effort, in depth. As the words of the Tur Zahav, on the words of Rish Lakish, Masechet Brachot, the words of the Holy Torah are only going to be fulfilled and exist, but only in a person that's killed himself on it. Killed not physically, we're not allowed to do it, Chas v'Chalila. Suicide is out of any option. But when you're learning Torah, there's nothing else in the world. And when you're acting in the world outside, it's only according to the laws of the Torah. And when you engage in learning Torah, it's in long-winded depth inside. And not like these people that's learning with not putting any effort, pass me the coffee. No, yeah, okay, drink some coffee. But engage in Torah, sweat, think. Don't close the Sefer, the book, because it's hard for you. Put more effort, dive into Hashem. And if we're not going to toil in the Torah, we're not going to be able to hold it. And that's why, in order to remember that the temple, the holy temple, was destroyed. Why? Because we were not engaged in learning and acting and living our life according to the Torah correctly. And that's caused that the Torah was not subsist, not exist within us and in our hand. And that's why on Chodesh Av, we're decreasing the happiness. And as we said already before, the only true happiness is learning and engage ourselves in the Holy Torah. In the concept of the words of Hashem are straight, they rejoice the heart. And in month of Adar, in the miracle of Purim, that we accept the Torah with love and happiness, we increase the happiness in order to remember and never forget the source of our happiness and the source of our livelihood. The only source which is engaged and act according to the Torah and fulfilling all the commandments. And we're all familiar with the words, or will be familiar with the words of Rabbi Yosef Chaim Zonnerfeld Zichrono Levracha, that the next redemption, Eisa Be'ezrat Hashem, would be in the merit of the oral Torah that the Jews accepted in the miracle of Purim with happiness and love. As the Navi Ishaya said, Tzion going to be redeemed in trial and the captive in charity. If you're going to do the calculation, I will do it for you. Tzion b'mishpat tifdeh, its numerical value of 1076 as Talmud Yerushalmi, oral Torah. Ushvaya betzedakah, 524, as numerical value of Talmud Bavli. And we already came to the conclusion that the true only happiness is only when Hashem blesses Thee, the Master of the universe, is dwelling and induce the omnipresence among us, Klal Israel. As it says, and I should dwell among them. And this is also hinted in the month, in the name of the month of Adar. And in that month, we already said, that was when the decree, the lottery of Aman, fell to happen. And Adar, we're going to break it, is going to be the letter Aleph, and then Dar, as the words of the Ma'or Enaim. And this is what it's mean when Adar starts, we increase happiness, which is hinting to Aleph, the master of the universe, Echad, one, Dar, is dwelling. And exactly that Aleph is the first letter of all the letters. Also, Hashem blesses Thee is the first and last, I should say, to the whole creation and people, things, creations, angels, I don't know, spirits, which are here. And this is the concept of Aleph Dar, that Hashem blesses Thee induce His omnipresence among us, Klal Israel. And that He also explained to us, how can a person able to merit a success, spiritual and physical, according to the words of the Gemara, Masechet Betzah, a person that's want that his assets going to be, exist, fulfill, grow, Yita b'hem Adar, he should plant Adar. As it says, Adir b'marom Hashem, Hashem is great in all over the world in heaven. That the main reason, that's our properties, spiritual and physical, going to be growing and existing, is by remembering and unifying the name of Hashem blesses Thee in all our action. And by that, Aleph, the master of the universe, Dar, living with us every second of the day. And since we know that the month of Adar is capable to bring down towards us the master of the universe, Hashem blesses Thee, to live among us. And this is the will of Hashem, as it says in the Midrash, Tanchuma, in the time that Hashem blesses Thee created the world, He yearned that He's going to have a dwelling place on the earth, as He got on the upper worlds. And the Midrash continued and said that the Shekhinah, the omnipresence, left earth 7 levels of heavens because the sins of the generation, you can read there, Tanchuma, Parashat Naso, and it came back, all the 7 layers, back to us, to the world, by Moshe Rabbeinu, as it says, Vayered Hashem ala Sinai, and Hashem came down to Mount Sinai. And that's maybe is the reason, as they say, that Moshe Rabbeinu was born on the month of Adar, to hint on the 7 returning of Hashem blesses Thee on the month of Adar, Aleph, Hashem, the master of the universe, is Dar, dwelling among us. And that was the mistake of Aman. He didn't know that in the 7th of Adar, yes, Moshe Rabbeinu died, but on that day he was born. That's meaning in that day, He was born again by spreading parts of his soul within each one of the 600,000 souls of the Jewish nation that can be separated to way more, in order to pass us the power that he had to continue the ascent to earth, to our world of Hashem blesses He, to dwell among us, within us here. And this power is in the hand of each one of us, Klal Israel, and by only engaging in the Holy Torah, as it says in Masechet Brachot. How do we know that even one person that sit and engage in Holy Torah, that the omnipresence with him? As it says, in every place my name will be mentioned, I will come to you and bless you. And that's explained also in Masechet Brachot, page Chet. From the days of the destruction of the Holy Temple, Rachmana Litzalan, Hashem doesn't have, God doesn't have in this world but only 4 cubics of halacha, Torah laws only. And again, that's hint to the whole oral Torah, which we accepted in the miracle of Purim with happiness and love. And from that we're learning how to fulfill the commandments in the written Torah. And that's why again, when month of Adar kicking in, extra happiness. I'm going to add, before conclusion, the words of Toldot Yaakov Yosef in the name of his rabbi, the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh. Exactly as there are 22 letters in the speech of Torah and davening, also it is in the material world and the physical world. Also 24 letters that with them the world was created and everything within it. And all the 24 letters are covers to one another, like an onion, because Aleph is covered with Bet, because Bet is 2, Aleph 1, 2 of them, until the letter Taf. And every creation which is by a higher letter is closer to Hashem blesses He. And the purpose of the creation, the Baal Shem Tov said to us here, that a person which is in this world, where there is the greatest concealment in the concept of the letter Taf, the last letter, he should find that Hashem blesses He, the master of the universe, is there in the great concealment. And if a person going to know, in true understanding, believe, no question, that's all the concealment and outer thought, etc. Hashem is there behind it. It's not a concealment and all, and his life going to be with Hashem blesses He. In the aspect of the ladder of Jacob, Sulam Yaakov, as it says, and there's a ladder that was put on earth, Mutzav Arza, Verosho, and his head of the ladder reached the heavens. To hint, La'aretz, this earth, this world, the letter Taf, the last letter, which is the greatest concealment. And this is the power of Esav, as it says, and also he go towards you, to Yaakov, and 400 people are with him in his army. To hint, 400 numerical value of the letter Taf, the greater concealment, that the power of Esav is to immerse a person, drown him in concealment as much as he can, and put him into despair, lack of belief, in order that he's going to be able controlling us. And the advice against that is to remember, yes, it is true. The ladder is placed and based on earth in a concealment, but Ve'ina Hashem nitzav alav, Hashem, God, is above the ladder, right there. In any situation of concealment, Hashem is there. And this is answer on what we asked before in the beginning of the lesson. What the name of Megillat Esther hinting? It's, look, as we said, contradiction. Megillat, to reveal. Esther, hidden. But actually, it's a simple thing that we need to do. To live in faith and total knowing and recognition that Hashem blesses thee is everywhere, even in the greatest concealment, chas v'chalila. And this is one of the reasons that the name of Hashem, as we said before, is not mentioned in the Megillah, but only in concealment, combining first letters or last letters of certain words to hint our obligation to see the hand of Hashem in everything that's happened to our life, in our life, and to push away the concealment, Amalek, numerical value, safek, doubt. And that's why Mishenichnas Adar, when Adar month starts, we increasing the happiness. Adar, Aleph, Dar, as we said, that's when Hashem blesses thee, the master of the universe, Aleph, Echad, Yachid u'Meyuchad, is dwelling among us, Dar betochenu, Marbin besimcha. Then we can be really happy, extra happy, because there's no greater happiness than living with Hashem blesses thee together every second of the day. And for sure, it's going to increase and grow by the learning of the oral Torah, which we accepted in the miracle of Purim, in happiness and unity. Echad, leman hasheni, one for the other. As we learned that Esther said to Klal Israel, said to Mordechai, all of you go fast for me 3 days, 9 days, 72 hours, and I will do the same to save Klal Israel, and you for saving me when I'm going to Achashverosh. Together, give from yourself to the other, even if it's hard. And for sure, we need to follow and listen to our holy rabbis of each generation and the halachot, the laws that they reveal to us, how we should act with all the new technology, etc. Exactly as accepting the Holy Torah by Moshe Rabbeinu. And exactly that's the same way we accept the oral Torah by Mordechai, which is the reincarnation, as Moshe Rabbeinu we said. He spread within us every generation. And more than that, again, this reincarnation, sparks of Moshe Rabbeinu can be, as we said, within you, maybe me. And by we, each one of us, indulge, engage with all our might, thought and will and love in the Holy Torah, with no self-interest or try to get something, with true happiness and love. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be able to understand that the Torah is not only history of the Jewish nation, but it's the source of our livelihood and our success in every minute and second. And by that, we're going to be able to merit winning unity between ourselves and for sure between us and Hashem blesses thee, by bringing the omnipresence, Adar, among us, and we're going to be able to see the full redemption ASAP. Nachat ruach v'chag Purim sameach.